Welcome back to our YouTube channel. I am AJ Shaver with Shaver Sales Inc. And today I just want to go over some of the things that we do with the log lift firewood bags and the racks that we made. Been getting a bunch of interest on them from Facebook. I don't manufacture the bag racks. That's just something that we came up with on our own just because we needed something to work with the bags. I do split firewood kind of by myself. Sometimes the kids come up and help out with some various things, but for the most part I'm up here just kind of one-manning it, so needed something that I could easily just kind of hang them on. I was thinking about just using the bobcat and the forks, but then you're only filling one bag at a time. The live deck on the BruteForce, I can get just about a cord, maybe more, depending on how long the wood is that's on there. So with the 3 racks set up, that is a full cord right off the production run. And we use the BruteForce 25-foot radius axle stacking conveyor. And we basically push it from here to the next, and that's what gives us our 1 cord easy volume without having to reset the bags every time. The racks themselves, again, I don't manufacture these for resale. If you want any kind of a design print or something, I've got a hand sketch on what we did. Order a bunch of bags, I'll make a copy, throw that in the envelope, and then you can make your own. It's just 2-inch tube steel, 1.5 inch heavy wall insert. This does come down in pretty far. We weren't sure how big the bags were going to be once they were stretched out, and originally I was pinning it through so it was solid, but decided that I wanted it to be able to float up and down, so we just put the pin through the hole and let it rest on top. They're about 5 feet wide, 4 feet deep. We do have the 2-inch tube steel going the whole way around the bottom, and then we just used angle iron, a little bit thicker than like a bed rail kind of angle iron, just to kind of horseshoe it to make sure the posts stay nice and square and true. Pallet on the bottom. The rack is a little bit over 6 foot tall for where the bag sets on. I'm just a little bit short than 6 foot, so the log lift bags are nice. I like to hang them on just so it's nice and easy. I don't really twist or do anything with the upper straps. They just kind of hang in really nice. I like leaving it so the mosquito mesh is facing front and back, because when I'm over there on the processor, I can see just about how full the bag is getting and when it's time to move the conveyor before it gets too late. We do offer 2 types of bulk bags. This is the log lift, and the other one is the power lift. And the biggest difference between the two are the mosquito netting and the unloading straps on the bottom. Now, the unloading straps on the bottom, if you take one fork and go all the way through it, as you pick this up, it'll actually flip the bag upside down, so you don't have to worry about dumping it over with the pallet and trying to roll the bag, but that way it stays attached to the fork and you can just lift it up off of the pile. The other main difference between the log lift and the power lift is the actual material in the bag. The log lift gives you a nice heavy mosquito netting, and the power lift gives you this kind of material where it's 1 inch of solid stitching, 1 inch of vent, and that goes on all 4 sides, not just on the 2 like you see here with the mosquito netting. They are a little bit cheaper, and I thought originally that we would go with the cheaper bag just because it leaves the most room for margin for actually making money. These are about $4 more expensive, but what we found out from the customer's point of view, they like being able to look into the bag from top to bottom, not just see the really nice pieces that you've kind of left up on top, and then not be able to see any kind of big chunks that are hidden down towards the bottom. So from a visual standpoint, leaving these out for resale, you know, at a hardware store or a mulch yard, that's the kind of stuff that we're trying to target. A place with a skid steer or a forklift already, just for nice easy loading, you know, based on the forks and the pallet being on the bottom. But also with the mosquito netting, it lets in so much airflow. We do have the video out there where we ran moisture test at a 6-month point through the winter. Bags were uncovered, reached into the bag, pulled it out, split the piece of wood, and moisture tested that inside split, and we're still able to get, you know, upper teens, very, very low 20s out of red oak, and it went into the bag green. So that was through the winter, all the snow and ice coming into it. So we have seen these season up the wood really well. Of course, like your ash and maple and birch, different things, they all have different types of dry times, but red oak for us up here in the Northeast usually takes a long time for it to season up, and we're really happy to see that happen in about 6 months time. We do ship around the lower 48. You're always welcome to come up here and pick up the bags in person. Whenever you order a full pallet, that's 250 bags, shipping is free, and that is the best absolute price that we can do on the bag, is when you order a full pallet. We commonly see orders between 20 and 50 go out. Shipping does get a little pricey. We put on a pallet and then just send it, LTL, whether it's through like a U-ship kind of thing or a local carrier if you're, close by. But great bag. We're really happy to have them. I love using them. I actually don't touch the firewood anymore, and that's where you get all the expense from, as you well know from doing firewood yourself, that the more times you touch it, the more expensive it gets. So for us, it hits the live deck, it goes across the disc cleaner, it comes up the conveyor, ends up into here. We take the tool cat or the skid steer and then throw it on the bulk pile, not bulk pile, but the arranged rows that we have here, and everything seasons up. We grab it, throw it in the back of the trailer, the back of the customer's truck, and we're done. It's not splitting it into a big pile, handling it and rehandling it, stacking it inside of an IBC tote or in some kind of a pallet rick, but have a pre-measured, ready-to-sell product right off the conveyor. Speaking of the conveyor, I had an extra little bit left on the live deck yesterday, so I went ahead and filled the conveyor. I don't think it's going to totally fill the bag. It's probably going to end up right around in here or so, but I just want to show you guys how durable these bags are. It handles the bulk wood coming right off the conveyor. It's not like you have to hand load it because you're afraid you're going to puncture the side of this. Even running in the rows here, I've rubbed up against it, with the skid steer tires, the toolcat tires, and put a pretty good rub into it, and the netting and the sides have held up really well. These bags are hanging really nice because we've used these like 2 and 3 times already, and that's with looping a chain through the bottom with the log loader trailer and physically flipping them upside down in the back of the trailer just for a quick unloading piece where, again, you don't have to touch it again. So they kind of have that preformed look to it. The other ones aren't quite so nice when they come off the pallet. I usually throw between 4 and 6 loose pieces in the bottom that kind of help stretch out the bottom for the first time, so they can accept the new wood coming in without it getting all lopsided to one side or an end folded over or something. But with that, I'm going to move some cameras around. We'll fire up the conveyor, and you can watch this thing fill. There wasn't as much on there as I thought there was going to be, but I can't leave a bag 2/3 of the way full, so I've got some firewood over on the processor, so I think we're going to go ahead and fill this bag. But just in case I don't, I end the video here. Again, I am AJ Shaver with Shaver Sales Inc. You can always give us a phone call at 833-SPLITTER. That's 833-775-4887. You can also email us, sales@shaverequipment.com. And just like these log lift bags, the BruteForce conveyor, the disc cleaner, the processor, the Halverson, what else we have? The AM machinery log loader trailer. Anything that you see in our arsenal of equipment, we're happy to give you a quote on, so please give us a phone call or shoot us that email and let us get a quote to you. And we do ship all over the nation in the lower 48. And thanks for watching.